What's up, guys? Making another video. Usually when I make these, I'm not gonna say that I'm unprepared because I have all the information stored right here. But this isn't like a production thing. I'm not in a studio. I'm in my car. But some of the people that have commented said, "Man, I like the raw, unfiltered, unedited, just you and a camera talking your shit." And I think that's how I'm going to keep it. Eventually, I have a couple friends that would like to actually, I guess, not really interview. It's more just a conversation between friends that share the same ideology. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I mean, isn't what you're saying just speculation as well? And I would agree, absolutely. Because like I said, doesn't matter what degrees, masters, PhDs, where you went to school, it doesn't matter. Nobody truly knows. 70% of this world's an ocean, is water. 70% of the surface area of this planet is water. And Victor Vescovo said we've mapped maybe 6%, because you have to have really high-powered sonar and LiDAR to map out the bottom of the ocean. So that's 64% of this entire planet that we live on has never been discovered or even searched. No human being has been on 64% of the planet. That we're not even talking about like the Amazon rainforest. We're not talking about the Congo. The terrain is so dense and harsh, and there's so many dangers, and hazards and threats posed to humans that there's no point of even trying. I mean, we're talking like you can't see a foot in front of you. Like, go watch Joe Rogan show. I forgot his name. Oh, Forrest Galante is a good one as well. He I don't know why dudes likes to wrestle dangerous animals and shit on some Steve Irwin shit. Like, oh, 20-foot python, let's jump on it and wrestle it and study it and shit. When most of us are like, 20 foot, fuck you, I'm gone. But he was like, you can't even see a foot in front of you. I mean, it's thick terrain. It's dense. You have to have a machete. I mean, the mosquitoes and the bugs are this big. Like, it's like, that don't kill you. I mean, most people, he said, 95% of every average American, if you drop them in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, they would die the first night. Whether it be bugs, infectious diseases, they said on that quick, eating the wrong things, getting ate alive by an anaconda, jaguars, cheetahs, uncontacted tribes, different types of monkey species, alligators, piranhas. I mean, guys, have y'all, I know y'all heard of the fish that if you pee in the water, the fish will, if you pee in the water, the fish will smell your urine, follow your urine trail, swim in through the inside of your dick, through your dick hole, go into your fucking organs, gestate, hibernate, feed, and grow inside your body. Yeah, get the out of here. So that's a possibility? Okay, well, that's just one threat. Then you got crocodiles, caimans, alligators, anacondas. Yes. Most of the anacondas are so massive that they have to stay in the water because the weight and the gravity would cause their own weight to crush themselves. We're talking... we're not just talking we're talking like Ice Cube movie anacondas. We're talking 60-foot snakes. There's a picture that an admiral took during World War II, I think. No, it didn't matter. An admiral took it. They flew over 4 times. In the Congo, it's a picture of the snake, aerial view, and then it shows you circles. It's like, this is a tree, this is a hill, and the snake's 8 times that size. They flew over it 3 times. They seen it the first time. Him and his co-pilot. They're like, is that a snake? They're like, nah. They fly back again. They're like, dude, that's a snake. There's no way it's that big. And then, when they fly back the 3rd time, they fly even lower just to confirm their confirmation. They're like, we know what it is, but dog, we must be tripping. They go back the 3rd time and they fly even lower. And the snake's so big that it actually snapped at their plane and tried to bite at them. They say megalodons went extinct, right? Here's my point. This is how I know it's not true. Megalodons went extinct. Okay? So they found a fossil of a megalodon and was like, oh, we found a fossil. That means they just don't exist anymore. No. Finding a fossil of an animal only proves that animal existed. Whether extinct or not, That doesn't prove it. If you find a human bone, you're not going to be like, oh, well, all humans are extinct. No. That just proves that they exist or at one point in time did actually exist. You're just confirming that. But if 70% of this world is water and sharks spend their entire life in water and we only know 6% about the ocean, that means 64% of the entire world's water has never been discovered by mankind. So how the fuck are you going to say mega sharks don't exist because I found a bone? What? I'll give you another metaphor. If you take a cup like this, right? You take a cup and you go to any of the 5 oceans, Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Southern, /aka Antarctic Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. You go to any 5 oceans in the world and you put this same cup in the water, you scoop it up and you're like, hey, there's no fish in this cup. That means there's no fish in the ocean. No, that just means that small little surface area residing in your cup just doesn't have any life in it. You didn't go deep enough. You didn't go far enough. You didn't explore enough. So to find a fossil, I'm like, yeah, they don't exist no more. But then they counteract and destroy what they just built up. They're so redundant, and people just don't put it together. They'll be like, we only explored 6% of the ocean, but we know that this animal for sure doesn't exist in the ocean anymore. And then they'll come out and say sharks have lived through 4 of the biggest cataclysmics on Earth. Sharks have lived longer than dinosaurs, volcanoes, they've been blah, blah, blah. But we know for a fact this certain species of shark doesn't exist anymore. You know why? Because we didn't see one. We haven't seen one yet. Okay, so because there's not a megalodon in this cup, means that the entire Atlantic Ocean is megalodon free, and you know that because you haven't searched it, just because you found a bone. And they're doing this on every aspect of every part of our lives, and most people just go along with it. I told myself I wasn't really going to touch on this because it is very controversial, but hey, I just give it to you raw. I don't care. I didn't want to talk about Charlie Kirk, but I have been following Candace Owens, and mark my words, I'm pretty sure they're gonna, what do they say, unalive her, which is the dumbest thing to say. It's so stupid. I think they might get her, but all I'm gonna say on this, definitely wasn't a microphone. I mean, they had an old dude on the ground talking about he's the one that did it. He walk up with his old fucking Colt 45 and shoot him. Like, no. And the guy that was on the roof that they got, the Robinson guy, whatever, nah. It wasn't him either. I mean, guys, this is just another Lee Harvey Oswald. J. Edgar Hoover, the CIA director, Brennan, I think it was his name, Brennan. The same guy that was on the committee looking into the assassination. And they had help through the CIA, obviously, and the mob. And they killed this thing because they were like, hey, man, he's going to dismantle the CIA. We can't do any of these black op, deep, black budget, covert missions, throwing coups, and the CIA was just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Fuck treaties, fuck the laws, policies, constitution. They were just going to just any country and just being like, hey, you like democracy? And they're like, nah, we don't fuck with the United States. Like, we ain't got nothing against y'all. We gonna stay neutral and we gonna operate on our country the way we feel is necessary. They're like, that's a bet. Then they started getting surveillance, doing reconnaissance. Then they fucking murked this motherfucker and say it was, guerrilla warfare, or the rightists in that country got tired of his political overpower. They did it to Gaddafi. They did it to Fidel Castro. They did it to Osama bin Laden. They did it to Saddam Hussein, which were both CIA assets. Jeffrey Epstein's Mossad. That's the CIA's version. That's Israel's version of the CIA, for people that don't know. But they, I think, are more definitely lethal because they're more secretive. The Mossad doesn't declassify files. The CIA will declassify a file and 80% of it's redacted, but like, wait, we declassified. No, you didn't. The only words I can read is the, and, was, to, for, and 6. 90% of that is redacted and blacked out. So how is that declassified? And people are just like, hey, well, they did it. Freedom of Information Act. No. But the Mossad don't do that shit at all. I didn't even know about the Mossad until, No, it was before Jeffrey Epstein. I was watching a movie and I was like, oh, he's Mossad. It was a show, actually. I was like, what the fuck is Mossad? And it's a version of CIA. Guys, look what this headquarters looks like. I'm going to show you this real quick. I just thought it was very interesting. I thought it was so interesting that I saved it, of course. This is crazy. I mean, just looking at it, it's like, damn. Compared to our headquarters, which I don't think really... Oh, it's actually on the phone I'm recording on. Sorry, guys. Let me look it up. But they killed Charlie Kirk. Mossad did, because he was actively and verbally speaking out against them, which apparently you're not supposed to do. Let me find it. Hold on. And it's really actually hard to even find this picture. When you Google it, you can type in Mossad headquarters, Mossad, but it doesn't take you straight to the picture that you actually need to see that I have saved. It's crazy. Let me see. I'll find it. Just give me a second, guys, and I'll get back to the point. I just want y'all to see this picture because it's like, I mean, it's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Still can't find it. Hold on. Give me a moment. It's gotta be one of these. I mean, and this is just goes to show you and prove my point even more. Like, this is hard to find. I mean, so this is like an aerial view of what the actual headquarters looks like, the buildings and stuff right here. That's what it looks like. But there's this one part of the building that I don't know, it just really kind of, I don't know, it just makes me, it just gives me an eerie feeling. It's really weird. If I can find it, I know typically they actively, they control like Google and everything, so they're actively like keeping this shit blocked. But I also think it's, here it is. So it's, the Metcalf Tower. I'm sorry, guys, but here it is. This thing is, I don't know. I mean, just look at that, man. That's nuts. Look at that. I mean, it seems to me, to like make America great again. America's the greatest country in the world, and it's not by far. I mean, I get there are some third world countries that are just, egregious. North Korea. I'm not gonna say America's not a good country to live in, but here lately, it's not. There's no freedom or privacy. I mean, we have a president that destroyed the whole fucking east wing of the White House to build a ballroom. Legally, per the Constitution, you're only supposed to be able to serve 2 terms. He is trying to annul and void that amendment in the Constitution so he can run for a 3rd term, which is why he said, that's why I built the ballroom. A ballroom? Like, you could have built, okay, first of all, you didn't have to do it at all. But a ballroom for $300 million? The only thing I can say that's remotely kind of good is it didn't come from taxpayer monies. This was all donations. But how is he able to do that? Now he's going to, what? We're just going to start voiding out the Constitution? So he can just run for a 3rd term, which he'll probably get elected? I mean, there's a book called The Last President. I don't see anybody else being president, to be honest with you. I think he's going to say, fuck the Constitution, run a 3rd term, get elected. Congress would try to stop it, but they can't stop Donald Trump. He don't give a fuck. Grab him by the pussy. My daughter's hot. What are we doing? This guy don't give a fuck, man. And he's running our country. I mean, for a political standpoint, for most American citizens, yes, the president runs the country, which he does not. This guy has no idea what the fuck we're really out here doing in this world, on this planet. Shit, no, I don't think any president really truly knows how far the tentacles of the CIA reach. Like, I'm telling you, do your research. CIA is just fucking, man. The last person to try to take down the CIA was JFK, and we all know what happened to him. And then Charlie Kirk starts speaking out about the same thing. Like, guys, Israel runs the world. We send $300 billion to Israel a year. And half the people on this entire planet, a good portion of them coming from our United States of America, the greatest country in the world, are homeless, going through wild levels of poverty, below the average income line, on food. Now they say, oh, the government, we shut down. How the fuck can you just shut down? What does that even mean? Could you imagine that? Like, if you was in the air and your pilot was like, hey, man, I just don't want to do this shit anymore. I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to go to sleep. Well, can you put this on autopilot? No, I ain't got no autopilot. This is one of them old school planes. I just want to shut down right now. So, I mean, I guess you can either learn how to fly a plane on the fly, or I guess we just gonna die. What? How does your own government shut down? We can't agree on certain politics, so instead of like agreeing to disagree or finding a neutral line and, compromising, we're just gonna shut down and stop supplying you food. What? Yeah, y'all don't get food stamps no more. 40 million people are on food stamps. And I guarantee you like 97% of them people on food stamps have kids, because that's what helps you qualify to get food stamps. And 40 million people, and say they only have each 40 million people that are on food stamps have one kid. That's 40 million children that possibly might not get food in November, the same month as Thanksgiving, because these motherfuckers can't get together and agree on politics. What I never understood is if it's a democracy, how do the Democrats always lose? It's the same thing, democratic democracy. But the Republics win everything. The Republicans. I don't even understand what we're doing. And to know that I'm raising a kid in this same type of world that's what makes me so upset. That's what gets me so passionate. I mean, this has been happening since the dawn of time, man. I'll just give you an example. I won't dive in too deep into it, but the Vietnam War. What was he doing? 20 years in Afghanistan. For what? We spent 20 years in Afghanistan. Over 500 million people dead, American and civilian. We spend 20 years there. Then we fucking pull out finally and just leave. And leave over, $5 billion worth of military equipment and weapons in the country to the terrorists we were just fighting for the last 20 years? And we just fucking leave? And as soon as we leave, 8 days later, ISIS controls the fucking country. So if we're going there to stop terrorism, to help that country be free from being oppressed from the government and terrorist groups, and we spend 20 years there trying to accomplish that, and then we leave, and not even a week later, the terrorists we've been fighting for 20 years run that country? Did we really do anything productive, or did we just waste American and civilian lives for no fucking reason? And not just American, Afghani's lives. Think about it. I get Pearl Harbor was egregious. That was a tragedy. But Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Did we actually kill the ones that were instrumental in creating and conducting that operation known as Pearl Harbor? Or did we just drop fucking nuclear atomic bombs on 2 cities in Japan just to say, hey, look how big our dick is? You want to try some bullshit again? Then I get you want to make a statement, but how many people had to die for that statement to be heard? Most of the kamikaze pilots that flew into the naval boats died because they just took their plane and flew straight into a naval vessel. They died on impact, of course. It's like suicide bombing, but Japanese version, but in a plane. We need to get the government and the war leaders. We didn't bomb, orders come from the Pentagon. So if they were mad about something Americans did, I'm going to attack the Pentagon. I'm not going to say, you know what, we need to get people responsible for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I think we should bomb Rhode Island. What? No, I'm going for the Pentagon. What is you talking about? We didn't bomb no military headquarters. We didn't bomb their version of the Pentagon. We bombed where we thought might have been, and what we thought due to intel from CIA agents that this was a strategic place for Japanese warfare, and they just bombed 2 cities and killed so many people that had nothing to do with it. Japanese citizens, just because they're Japanese doesn't make them better or worse than us. I'm an American civilian. I have a kid. I have hopes and dreams and aspirations and hobbies and things I like and dislike, and so does Japanese people. Just walking down the street. They even drew a smiley face on that motherfucker. Fat man and big boy, or little boy and fat man, I forgot what they called them. And just fucking done. Guys, what are we doing? We have over, 46,000 nuclear missiles all pointed at each other while we're still on the planet. Why does it always have to be war? There's no, one supreme leader of Earth. There's no CEO of Earth. There's no Elon Musk of Earth. You can't own a planet. You can't claim it for yourself. Now, if you went to Venus and you were the first one there, you could be like, all right, well, hey, I was the first person here. I'm going to call this whatever. I'll call this Planet Josh. Because that's my name. But you don't own it. Nobody owns Earth. Get the fuck out of here. That's super cocky to even try to think that. I'm going to rule the world. For what? Why do we have borders? Why is it called Mexico? Why can't it just be Earth? Everything a human being needs to live a happy, sustainable, peaceful, healthy life is already been provided by this planet. Why do we have borders? Why are we spending billions of dollars to build this big, great wall to keep other people that are human beings too from touching our land? How do you draw the line? How do you say, oh, well, this is where Montana ends and this is where Wyoming begins based off the treaty? Why do people have to own land? There should be no money, nothing. Everything you need is there. I'm talking about, well, who would build houses? Well, get your lazy ass the fuck up like we used to do back in the day and go cut down a tree. We've advanced as much to have chainsaws. At least we ain't got one of them big ass long saws trying to cut down a fucking red oak tree that's like fucking 8 feet thick. We have chainsaws. So there's people that have the knowledge to know how to build. And there's people that know how to work. We would just build our own shit. Like we do now, but we just do it in a stupid way. Why are we creating an artificial intelligence? We're intelligent enough. Why do we need to create something that's eventually going to be smarter than us? Why? Do we feel inferior? Like we just think, oh, we've reached our peak of intelligence, so we got to create a robot computer that can teach us how to be smarter. But think about it. How does, if the top peak human intelligence stops right here, how are we intelligent enough to create something with an intelligence level at this level? Doesn't that make us as smart as the artificial intelligence if we're the one that created it initially? What are we doing? Why can't we just, the only reason why we can't, because there's good and evil. If evil didn't exist, we would all just coexist happily. There wouldn't be, oh, I'm going to go to Canada. No, you just be like, oh, I'm going to go up north. You can call it Canada so people get a good idea or the generalization of where you're at in a certain region, which I'm not saying giving them names makes it bad, but why do we have borders? It's so childish. Think about it. We all live on the same fucking planet. We spend billions of dollars to build a wall to keep other human beings that are just slightly different than us in good ways from coming and touching our land when it's the same. When we stole Mexico in the first place, why do you think there's New Mexico? Oh, now it's Gulf of America. We're just fucking petty, man. It's like, what are we, Genghis Khan? America's the biggest fucking bully trash country ever. If you go to the Netherlands, Switzerland, Amsterdam, they ain't doing that shit over there. They ain't nuking each other. They're not like, oh, we need to go on this submarine mission and go spy on, Iceland because we heard they was talking shit. No, they ain't. Nobody's talking shit. They're just living and coexisting together. And it does all boil, I'm not racist, it all does boil down to being evil and these white supremacists. Hitler, all of these motherfuckers, they just want new world order, one supreme race. That's fucking devilistic, fucking just dumb shit. Like, that's boring. Say they do it. Say they depopularize the world. Instead of 8 billion, say now there's only 300 million people on the entire planet, and they're all white people with blonde hair and blue eyes. That would just be boring eventually. Like, you have to have difference and a mesh up of cultures and influences and ideas and languages. It makes it funner. It's interesting. Like, what I call this, you call that. This is what we like to do. Well, we do this over here, and we learn from each other. We love each other, and we just coexist. This is a planet. No, it was never God's intention for us to be building nuclear power plants and bombing each other. That's all the fucking devil. Man, and until we wake up, they just gonna keep doing it. They just gonna keep doing it. And I know more than half of you out there in the world don't even give a shit. And it's not because, I mean, one, you lack knowledge. Two, you're like, at the end of it, what can I really actually do to change it? And then three, I mean, you got bills. That's how they made it this construct to make it damn near impossible to step out of bounds and ask questions, because as soon as you do, your life becomes almost impossible. So people just stray away from it and just fall in line and be a sheep and do what they're supposed to do. I can't do it anymore, and I hope you guys won't as well.